Hello, welcome to Todd Miller TV, joined here today with Oana, who has no idea what we're going to talk about. I'm just going to spring something on her. So I got an email from an agent that was complaining that one of our agents asked him what it was going to take for the client to get the house. So here's the scenario. The person went and saw the house, they loved the house, the agent just happened to be there at the house. And the agent said, hey look, I understand you've already got a bunch of offers on the house. My clients really like it, and they're willing to beat anybody's offer. So what's it going to take to get the house? And the agent refused to say anything, just said, look, just send us an offer or whatever. And then they complained later, saying it was inappropriate to ask. So my first question to you is, how many agents, because you have a lot of REO, you get a lot of multiple offers, how many agents ask you, what does it take to beat the offer?
Most agents that talk to me on the phone ask me, what's it going to take?
Okay, so let's talk about the difference between your bank clients and a traditional seller, okay? If you're an REO, if you're a bank, how do they typically work with disclosing the terms of the offer to tell a person what they need to be to beat it?
Most banks do not allow that.
Okay.
Very few do. And then as far as traditional sellers, that's a different story. Everybody's different and they have different goals. It also depends on whether their property is going to be financed or cash, because obviously if we're dealing with somebody who's paying cash, then a whole new set of circumstances come about. Okay,
so in this scenario, this is actually a cash buyer who's buying in like the 160, I think, range, 160, 170 cash, which in this market is substantial. It's over average. Do you think it's unethical if to not even present that? I know it's not in writing, but to say, hey, look, they told me they would beat whatever your best offer is, their cash, or should they just let them submit an offer and let the seller decide from that?
Look, until you have something in writing, you have nothing.
Okay.
So we can't negotiate something that's verbal because it's not enforceable. So if you're interested in buying a property, put your money where the pen is, put out an offer, and let's see where things stack up. I mean, in your offer, you can write all kinds of things. You can put in there that it's not subject to appraisal. So if you know that you're dealing with multiple offers, then you know that you have to add a certain amount over list price, and that you have to put in there that you're going to buy it regardless of appraised value and things like that. Because even cash buyers are using appraisers right now in this market. So just because it's a cash deal doesn't mean that there won't be an appraisal.
Okay.
So we do need to still be very cautious of that. So if you really want that house and you're a cash buyer, then put in there that you're going to pay X amount of dollars regardless of appraised value.
If you were a seller selling your house and you knew you had a bunch of offers already, and then somebody showed up and said, we'll beat whatever your best offer is by $1,000 cash, well, how would you perceive that?
I would perceive that as not giving me their best offer, because I would say, okay, well, somebody's willing to pay me $150, pretty much not knowing what everybody else is doing out there, and you just want to pay me $151. Well, but if I don't tell you, then you might be willing to pay me $155, $160. So I'm actually, as a seller, leaving money on the table. So I don't like that.
What about the offers, and I know you've seen them, where they state, well, we're offering $150, but they have an escalation clause, which states we'll pay up to a certain price, but $1,000 over your highest offer. How do you react when you see those?
Again, I don't put much stock in them, because what they're trying to do is game the system, and they're not really serious about putting up with their highest dollar.
Okay.
What they're saying is, we're simply willing to match somebody else plus a buck.
Do you think the problem with that is, from the buyer perspective, is let's say that you think the house could be worth $170, but it could be worth as less as $150. So you put in there, I'll pay up to $170, but not more than $1,000 over your next highest offer. That the seller's just going to come back and go, well, our highest offer was $169, so you got it at $170.
Right. And then, here's the other issue, is proving that.
Right.
So now we have to violate somebody else's privacy by by proving that with other offers and that sort of thing. And then here's the thing, on the buyer end. Fine, I can get my cousin to write an offer for $200,000 on a $100,000 property, and you're going to pay $1,000 more than my highest offer. You know, I mean, is that really realistic?
Yeah, the buyer can't verify that that's a legitimate offer.
Right.
That that's not the friend or
Exactly.
relative or the seller made that up to just give to them.
Exactly. So the best policy is put out there your best offer. Whatever that property is worth to you, don't worry what it's worth to someone else and then add $1,000 to that. Put out there what that property is worth to you, because at the end of the day, buyers will back out even all the way up to closing when they get buyer's remorse because they feel that they're overpaying for a property.
What about the people who, let's say a year ago, were trying to game the system and got frustrated and didn't buy anything? Mm-hmm. And here we are a year later where prices are higher.
Right.
Do you think, I mean, how do you think, I mean, people by nature don't want to overpay.
Right.
But the perception of overpay is really, in real estate, is really subjective. Because how do you define overpay what? If there's 5 people competing, you're going to have to beat all of them. So technically, whoever got the house overpaid. Because you were willing to pay more than everybody else. Right?
That's right. Yes.
Okay. And list price, we know, doesn't mean anything.
List price is an invitation to negotiate an offer.
Okay. It's not a statement of value or anything.
Nope.
It's not what the seller will take.
Nope.
It's none of that.
Nope. Sometimes properties are priced low on purpose to create a bidding war because they're going to end up with more money in the end.
Right.
Sometimes they're priced high for other reasons.
Okay, good. Anyway, I just thought I would share those thoughts with you. Kind of something that's happening a lot in the marketplace, where we're getting a lot of calls from people wanting to know exactly how much the offer is, and so they can beat it and stuff. And there's a lot of reasons why that's not a good reason to disclose that. So I thought I'd share that with you. And Oana, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That is my update for today, and hope to see you on another video. Thanks.